First up, this Abiola fellow. He has derelicted his duties in teaching you about flavonoids. Look, flavonoid. Flavor. See, and the longer he waits to teach you this, the more you're gonna miss out on the most tasty, the most flavorful cannabis products. We're losing recipes. Flavonoids, what are they? Actually, what about the effect on the experience? Does it change the way you feel it in your mind or your body? We will go over these questions and each of the major takeaways for all of the common flavonoids in cannabis for your curious minds to tackle the next level in cannabis knowledge. That is flavonoids. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, Dr. Ife Abiola here, and we're going to start today's rundown with a definition of flavonoids. Flavonoids are a natural compound found in various plants, including cannabis. Flavonoids provide the bright colors, attract pollinators, and even protect the plant against certain spectra of UV light. Now, there are thousands of different flavonoids in nature and about a dozen that are unique to cannabis. And whichever flavonoid we can derive from cannabis is called a Cannaflavin. Easy. And it turns out that about 10% of the compounds in cannabis are flavonoids. And flavonoids make up to 3% of cannabis by dry weight. These flavonoids, these Cannaflavins, have distinct aromas and play a role in the scent and the taste. But how much of a role in the scent and the taste? It's kind of a misnomer that they're the biggest players in the flavor game. Sort of burst your bubble, but the term flavonoid doesn't even come from the word flavor. It comes from the word flavum, Latin meaning yellow. But it helps with the effects, right? Your buzz, right? Yes. And no. Flavonoids work in concert with cannabinoids and terpenes to affect the effects. But flavonoids are largely non-psychoactive. Still with me? Now, as a loyal viewer, I am responsible for your education, your cannabis training, and you have come to the right place. I've been trained classically, I've been trained contemporaneously, and because of that, you're going to learn a little bit of history. Let's start off with the first Cannaflavins. They were actually discovered by Dr. Marilyn Barrett at the University of London. And Dr. Barrett gave them a very unique and scientific name, namely Cannaflavin A and Cannaflavin B, both of which were shown to limit prostaglandins. Well, what are prostaglandins? Okay, look at the name, prostaglandins, the gland that makes it difficult to pee when you get older. In human beings, prostaglandins are involved in the inflammatory process, and they can have strong effects on the immune system. Now, the degree to which they affect it is not for me. That's for the nerds who are paid to study them. But Cannaflavins A and B do interact with THC and CBD. In doing so, there is an increase in the potency of those cannabinoids when they interact with Cannaflavins A and B. Think of it as another level to the entourage effect. So, Cannaflavins A and B can help increase potency. And next we have quercetin. Because of its bitter taste, it is an additive in many foods and beverages. And it's found naturally in fruits, vegetables, seeds, and much more. You know the taste of like an apple skin? It's bitter, but it's full of antioxidants. It's like moms always say, the good stuff is in the skin of the fruit. Minerals, nutrients. Quercetin is similar in that the antioxidant effects will fight things like free radicals, which damage cells and cause cell aging. Quercetin also has antifungal and antiviral effects to keep the plant healthy. So that bitter, dry taste of cannabis comes from quercetin. Antifungal, antiviral, and bitter taste, quercetin. Apigenin. Apigenin is a cannaflavin that is bright yellow when it's concentrated. In the past, it was used for things like yellow dyes, but the effects are what we gravitate to it now. Apigenin interacts with the brain by having a strong affinity for GABA receptors. Now, when GABA receptors are activated, our brain will release an inhibitory neurotransmitter, GABA. GABA slows everything down and helps us to relax. A relaxing effect on the brain and body that's similar to chamomile tea. Apigenin makes up about 68% of the flavonoids in chamomile tea. So your sleepy time tea could become a sleepy time J if you find the right strain with Apigenin. Can we cut? I'm not really happy with that one. Next up, we have the namesake of Dr. Engelbert Kaempferol. This Cannaflavin has crossovers with kale, spinach, and broccoli. Now don't get too excited, health people. Go do some Zumba, you're overstimulated. Kaempferol can be found in the highest concentrations in plants like saffron. And it's the flavonoid that gives rose petals its beautiful color. Colors, hues, gowns. Beautiful gowns. Next up we have lute. Give me the lute. Give me the lute. Luteolin. Luteolin is found in many plants like celery, parsley, and thyme. And this one has an impact on all sorts of things. Memory, the brain, and the brain. Luteolin can counteract the effects of THC on short-term memory. And in addition to this, it can actually help to mitigate some of the allergic reaction that cannabis can cause in people. Coughing a lot? Itchy? Come on, what do you got? Tell me. The substances in cannabis can cause what's called the degranulation of mast cells. Luteolin can prevent this. So if you're using or overusing cannabis to the point that it can cause issues with your short-term. Okay. So if you're using or overusing cannabis to the point it can cause issues with your short-term memory, or if your reaction to cannabis use is constantly making you make excuses to your friends and family. I'm sick. Boo, you whore. Luteolin could be for you, if not one of the other ones. Look, listen. When it comes to cannabis, flavonoids matter, and the research involving them keeps stacking up. The landscape for flavonoids could look different in 5 to 10 years. Maybe labeling will have to include the names and the amounts of these that are found in each strain. Or will a more interesting form of cannabinoid come to eclipse this? Only time will tell. For FOUR20, my name is Dr. Ife Abiola. Good night.